Hey everyone, welcome back to Pain and Theta. I know I've taken a few weeks off, but I wanted to come back. I was moving, so all that. Coming back, basically nothing really has changed. I still own a lot of these positions. As you can see, these numbers kind of indicate how much I've actually made off premium off both the put side and the covered call selling side. So just kind of, I know I've taken some losses because the price of Bank of America is not 26.50. So I know I've taken some losses, but this kind of will tell you how much money I've made and kind of like give you exactly where I'm at. So I made about 500 bucks off Bank of America just owning it a few months, not including dividends. This doesn't include dividend. MGM, I've made almost 200 bucks, and AT&T about 240, and altogether about $900. So if you want to go and look at it, I've lost $1,500 from these three companies. So roughly, I'm in the hole like what, 650 bucks. That, does sting, but I still will be selling covered calls on these to make more money. Bank of America actually shot up to about 25, something like 25 yesterday. I had a pretty decent day. 25-30, which was really, really good. And then it dropped down. It does that. It has really good days, really bad days. But I'm going to get this contract back at the end of the week, the July 31st one at 25.50. And I think I'm going to try to bump it up to 26 or 26.50. Maybe not make as much premium, but it would be nice to make a few $100s just off selling the stock and holding it. My average price is 26, but just to collect more premium, I've been selling them like where I bought it at. So I got assigned the 25.50 over here. So I'm selling it at 25.50, and then the one I got assigned over here was at 28.50. So I'm selling the 28. I'm still breaking even. Actually, on this one, I'd be making $50 because I got signed at 25.50 on both of them. So really, I'd be making $50 on top of the 21 here. So if it does get assigned, which who knows, only time will tell. But I'm still holding on to these. It's things are still shaking out. This week I've been going at AMD, or the past couple weeks, AMD, Snapchat, and Uber, as well as Coca-Cola. I think I might have recorded that week. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's been a bit busy few weeks for me. But AMD, crazy. I really wanted it at 52. Now it's in the 70s. Really good, play on the competitors of Intel not doing terribly and them doing really well, which I had a feeling would happen. So I really want to. I made so much money off AMD. Wish I would have bought more shares. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Always hindsight's 2020. But Snapchat's been doing great for me. It's had pretty bad earnings and guidance, but I still think it's a really good company. Drop down. I've been selling a bunch of premium on Snapchat just because I believe in the company long term. I think they're actually progressing. Just seeing their platform, I'm seeing tons more advertisement. I'm sure they're growing their subscribers or following, whatever you call it. But still gonna pretty much continue on Snapchat. Snapchat's premium is pretty ridiculous, or at least it was going into earnings. But you could just see it out. So even if I do get assigned at the $21, yeah, which is it's only I sold it for 23. Now it's at $4 now, but you could make some decent money selling. A few weeks out, you could sell it for a few dollars more than you bought it for over 1%. Now this is like 2 weeks out, but still like that's a pretty good move right there. And if I do get paid this a little over 1%, I would be making a couple $100 off that. So really wouldn't mind to have Snapchat. Same thing with Uber. Uber does have earnings this week. It has been down. I'm probably going to get assigned at the 21.50 mark. But this premium is crazy. And I know it can do a lot. This is more of a gamble, if you will. But, technology, let's just run it. You know what I mean? Let's just do it. So Uber probably going to get assigned. But like I said, if I could sell it, if I get assigned at 21.50, if I could sell it for $34, make $250, $350, whatever, and make maybe 1%. So I might try to go for the 33.50, make $200, get 1% in a week. That would be amazing. It's probably going to boom or bust. Seeing Uber for the past year has kind of been they've definitely, this is an all-time low, but they've been, I thought this was a good premium sell just because it seemed like there's a good bit of support right here and right here and right here. It's been going down, but who knows? Hopefully earnings just bust through the roof, and I can make a few $100s on the upside. We'll see, but yeah, I don't mind having Uber in the long-term portfolio, so that's not too bad. Other than that, not too much. Like I said, just still selling covered calls on all my positions. Um, AT&T, which the dividend is coming the third, so I should be getting like 120 something bucks there. And I'll just keep on selling covered calls. I'm down almost $450 off of my 200 shares of AT&T. I brought in $238, so really it's even. If it goes, I guess 10 cents higher than what it is right now, which is at 29.72. So if it goes to 29.83, I'm breaking even, and I bought it at $32, which is pretty amazing. That's the power of options. So I just lowered my cost basis down, make all that money as long as I keep selling, and I will keep continuing on. It's not great. This was $35. I think it was for around a month, but still like $1 a day. It's not a lot of money. It's a little bit of money, but hey, that adds up over time. The let's see if I can find out where it's at. I sold it probably the 10th, so about a month. About $30, $35. Average those two out. That's not bad. That's a really good dividend. If I get paid $30 for every, it's basically 1% a month on top of a 7% dividend a year. So, it's really not too bad. I don't mind holding on to these. I'll keep holding on to them, and I would like to get more than $32, more than what I paid for them. So I'd like to sell it for the 33, but if it's going to stay at the 29.70 mark, I'll keep on selling it at my cost until it gets to like a Bank of America where it's at like, it's right around the $25 mark, right where I bought it at. So then I might bump it up. I don't want to get too greedy because it happened to me here last time where I could have made $100 or a couple $100 and I foregoed that, which was, I think, a mistake. So I'm going to not get too greedy, but if the opportunity presents itself, 50, $100 here or there, I think would be a really good thing just because, you know, I'm holding these for months, and yes, I am making money, and I'm not breaking even because I would be making this money on if I broke even, but an extra $150 every once in a while, I think would be pretty good. So yeah, so along with all this, I've also started, which I know this video is going to be a little bit longer, but an iron condor. I've been running iron condors off of Robinhood just because their like margin account's a little bit better in terms of that. You only need to put up the collateral. You don't even need to put up the whole amount of money. Whereas TD Ameritrade, you need to put up the whole amount of money. So in Robinhood, I've got a smaller account, just under $1,300, but I'm basically just selling these iron condors, which I mean, I don't know. This is my first week of doing it, so I'll continue doing this. I mean, I'm going to keep it pretty small, but just kind of see how much money I can grow this small account to, and I will, slowly keep shuffling more money in if I continue to see success. But let's just go here. So WDC Western Digital, I'm basically playing the middle game. This is right where it was when I pretty much made the Iron Condor. So I sold the 41. So if it goes below $41, then I lose money. And if it goes if it goes above the 45.50 mark, I lose money. So I would be losing, $50 here, and I make 18. So, it's not great, but it's pretty high chance. So there's a really high success rate, but that's why I'm not getting as much premium. But to be honest, my collateral, I think on this was $50. So I needed $50 in my account to make $18. So it's a really good return on investment type thing. That's why I'm going Robinhood, because you can't really do it on TD Ameritrade. So $18. This is the implied move, and that's the price point. So basically, if you said the implied move is $2, I pretty much put it out right where it was, the implied move, and I'm making the money off that. So, everything fluctuates. I'm trying to find out, like, not decent deals, but stocks that have, stayed somewhat flat or somewhat relative in a range where I could kind of not predict, but make an educated guess on, because who knows, in this market, anything could happen. So I went with Western Digital as the first one, and then IWM, which is basically just a Russell 2000 ETF. So ETFs are pretty good on this because they're more reliable than Apple. Apple, I just did earlier today. I had to put up $250 just because the strike prices are, that much different. But it made $74. I did it today. The price when I did it was $381, and it has to drop a substantial bit for me to lose, and it has to gain a substantial bit for me to lose as well. So I think the probability of success is in the 70 percentile. So, I think it's a pretty good risk to reward ratio just by looking at the stock. So let's look at Apple today. It needs to drop to this level, the 150. What was it? The 157. So it needs to drop. I know this is really hard to see. Maybe if I go to a month, it'll be easier. The 157. Yeah, exactly. A month has passed and it hasn't even been that low. And a month has passed and I think it might have been that high once. The 395. But it's kind of leveled off. So it needs to rise a decent bit, but it's got like 1 day left. You know what I mean? Unless something crazy happens. I think this is a pretty smart trade. I'm giving it a wide window to be in. This chart barely, it doesn't even go that low and it goes barely that high. So, if this stays in between the two, I will make $75 or $74 in like 1 day. So with this premium that I'm making, Robinhood is honestly, it's a pretty good platform. I'm going to use this money to reinvest and I can buy partial shares. So if I wanted to buy this in dollars, I could say I want $128 in Apple stock and it'll give me 0.334, the list goes on and on, but it'll give me this amount of shares. So I won't get a full share, but I'll still have ownership and it'll, rise with the stock. So really, I think this would be a good way for me to test out this, do a lot of high probability trades with honestly a little bit of money and collecting a decent bit of premium. So, I put up $250. Let's see, $250, divide that by 74. No, that's not right. Plus 74. Put this in parentheses. Divide that by the initial amount. And I'm making, 30% of my... So that I'm making 30% off my money. This trade, the $74, its return on investment is about 30%. And like I said, my probability of success, which I found in Tastyworks, which is another brokerage, but long story, is about 70% chance to win. So, honestly, that's pretty good odds. And I think it's obviously a high probability because I have 70% chance to win. And with my research or know-it-all, if you will, whatever that means, I think it's going to work. So, this could be my $74 off of my 250. So I'm going to just reinvest this into more stuff. Like that my time reinvestments, kind of like I have over here, which actually has done me pretty well. Like I said, just because AMD is, it's almost at $80 right now. Like, can you believe that? It's ridiculous. It just won't stop. Wish I bought more of it anyways. I'm just going to keep reinvesting because obviously I'm going to buy high quality stocks and high quality ETFs, and they're going to rise over time. And I'm getting paid for time, so I'm just going to keep on recycling all this. And basically, I'm just documenting this all to have as documenting my journey and to look back at and see where I went wrong, what I could have done, what was a bad spot to sell cash cleared puts, what was a bad spot to sell iron condors, kind of having the implied move, days to expiration, the premium collected, when I traded it and what range. And we're just going to basically make money off time. Basically what I'm doing with cash secured puts, but just with an iron condor, same kind of concept, but honestly you need a little less money, so a lot more people could do it, and it brings in a pretty good amount of money, a reasonable amount of money. My account size, if all this goes through, let's go back to Robinhood. My account size was $1,250. That's how much I put in. So I've made almost $40 in a few, like a week. So I lost, okay, yeah, about 40 bucks because from right here, I lost $20. That's what my account balance was at. And now I'm up $22. So about $40 in a couple days. And one day these all expire worthless and they're still currently in the range. So these $75 will go to zero. This $9 will go to zero, 21, zero. And this will end up in my account. So this is going to be, could potentially be well over $1,300 um, if all these option iron condors expire worthless, which is the goal. Um, I, like I said, I'm just going to keep reinvesting and see where this goes. And if this continues to go pretty well, I'll keep adding a little bit more money. Like I said, you don't need much money to get started, but I will be continuing to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I will honestly put a Robinhood link in my description. If you guys are interested, you get a free stock if you join, and you could try to basically do what I'm doing if you want. Like I said, this is educational purposes only. So, everything has a risk. So if you don't really understand what I'm saying, I probably will have to make a educational video on iron condors to kind of further explain what I'm actually doing. I've kind of briefly gone over this as if you know what I'm talking about, but I'll probably have to do that sometime soon. But I will be running these videos pretty frequently now, probably twice a week at least. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will see you this weekend.